So body image during pregnancy. Oh man, this has been so tricky for me. When I was pregnant with my son, I gained like 35, 40 pounds. I got pretty big, but it was gradual. So I don't remember, like, yeah, you didn't have moments where I'm like, oh God, I'm like a lot bigger than I used to be, but it didn't really bother me that much. And I think by the time that I was really big, the baby was also big, and I just felt like that I was really deep into pregnancy. With the pregnancy that I'm currently in, I had really horrible nausea from like week 4 to 10, 11, and all I could eat was like bread and pasta, and like I could not stomach like smoothies or vegetable. Like I don't think I had one vegetable for 6 weeks. I just couldn't. I felt so awful. And I gained like 10, 12 pounds in 6 weeks. So, and it has been messing with my head. I'm so grateful that I'm pregnant, but I am like, I'm not loving my body right now. And I was trying to figure out what the difference was from last time to this time. And granted, like when I was pregnant with my son, I was in my 20s and I had like young, supple skin. Now I'm in my 30s, and like stretch marks, cellulite, varicose veins are definitely more of a thing, but I'm having so much more of a reaction. And part of it is I feel like this time it was so sudden. It's like all of a sudden I was big mama. The baby right now is like the size of a jalapeno, but my belly already looks like there's a basketball inside of it. My butt's bigger. Like if I just had like a cute belly, I probably, like that part doesn't bother me, having the big belly, but it's like my butt is like squishier and like cellulite and like flabbier, and all my pants and my thighs are tighter. Like my nose has gotten, just everything has expanded. And then I feel shame, I feel shame when I start to get down on my body, because it's like, it's doing something incredible. It's growing a baby, you're supposed to gain weight. It's part of the process. You like love thyself. And so I am attempting to take a dose of my own medicine, because I made videos about this, body image during pregnancy. I've written about it in both of my books. And I am trying to put the practices to work. Like one of them, for example, that I absolutely hate right now, but I'm making myself do, is stand naked in front of the mirror and force myself to find one thing about my body that I love, and to like focus on that one area, and to really send it a lot of love. And to not get distracted by like, oh, like that's too puffy, or that's too like chunky, or look at that new stretch mark. And to really try to hone in on those little pieces that I think are so beautiful. And I'm so lucky to have a husband that, and I don't think he's lying, he better not be, that thinks I'm like beautiful and like loves the fuller figure. And so I don't have anybody around me shaming me or making me feel any certain way but good about my body. And I had issues like in my teens with like, I don't know if I would ever categorize myself as like anorexic, or definitely wasn't bulimic, but I had weird issues with food, and I would like not eat for many days and then like binge. It was just very unhealthy. And I had finally gotten to a really good place with my relationship with food and my body. And so this is kind of causing a little bit of a tailspin. I'm still like, I'm eating. I'm certainly not engaging in unhealthy eating practices. I'm happy to eat what my body wants. But just my perceptions of myself are a little bit harsh right now. And like the tighter clothes, like all of it, it's just like, it's hard. So what's the purpose of this video? I guess part of it is just to let women out there that are also feeling that know that you're not alone, that you're not a monster for feeling that way, that, we're allowed to be so incredibly grateful that we're pregnant, and to think that our body is amazing for doing what it's doing, but to also have all of that body image stuff come up, to feel frustrated that our thighs have like thickened, that our butt's chunkier, to be thrown off by it. And to allow ourselves to feel that and to acknowledge how we're feeling, and to not just like shove it to the side. But I think, and again, obviously I'm speaking from experience, to also find a way to really like look at it and really figure out how to move past it. Because personally, I do not want to spend the next 6 months feeling deflated every time I look in the mirror. It's not a good feeling. I want to get back to that place where I like love my body and I feel sexy, I feel healthy. And speaking of being healthy, like I think for me, getting back into exercising, like drinking the right amount of water, finding, you know, better eating habits, you know, kind of, because it's only been about 2 weeks since I've been able to like eat vegetables and have smoothies again. So I think once I kind of get back into that healthy eating pattern and I just feel better, that will probably help me see myself in a more beautiful light. Because when you're like tired and just feel like puffy, it's hard for me to see myself as beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to be on a journey of getting back to that place of having acceptance and maybe even love for my body. And I'll share it here as I make progress. I'm in the beginning of this process right now, so I don't have any beautiful words of wisdom. I just, again, want to let women know you're not alone if you're feeling frustrated by your pregnant body. And if you relate to this at all, please let me know below. If you have any tips for me, I would love to hear it. Like, how did you get past these feelings of, you know, frustration with your blossoming body? Please let me know in the comments below.